All right, guys, welcome back to the Imperial Jedi Knight, the new Star Wars channel. So we're going to be breaking down Ahsoka Season 1, Episode 1 right here. We're going to break down, the episode. We're going to go along and talk about it, my thoughts on it. So let's get right into it. Okay, so when the episode starts, we see the red-themed Star Wars. A lot of red going on. Usually it's yellow. Even the opening crawl is red. So that's very interesting that it's red. That means that I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of Sith and Dark Jedi stuff going on. So that's really cool. They explain the backstory of everything, which was nice. And then we get this New Republic ship. I don't know why he accepts them onto the ship, even though they're very suspicious of them, and they think that they're Jedi imposters. And why would you let somebody like that on the ship? But you know, he was overconfident. He let him on the ship. And we saw what happened. This is a very cool scene here. It was very reminiscent of like older Star Wars movies. Hold on a second. Let me just get this over here. Yeah, so I can get the cast up. Okay, so we got Baylan coming off the ship with his apprentice Shin. Very cool looking with the cloaks. They got the whole feel of Star Wars, and they got the whole like the rebel helmets and stuff. Really awesome. So it seems like Baylan kind of doesn't want violence right now, or else he would have just came in and just destroyed everybody. So you could tell that he's still evil. He still murders like a bunch of, people here, but he's not completely dark side, because a Sith would have, like Darth Maul, would have just came in and killed everyone immediately, went straight for the prisoner and released her and left and then destroyed the ship. But he kind of just wants to walk by. But this guy's overconfident. You are no Jedi, which was a really dope line. And then they try to stop them, and then we all know what happens. They all get murdered. Oh, and then we see Baylan have a sick hallway scene similar to Vader. So this scene was amazing. He's got his own hallway scene. Rest in peace to Ray Stevenson. He obviously played Baylan. He didn't get to see the fan reception and see the finished product before he passed. So it's very sad, but I'm glad he left us with this awesome scene here and his work, because I've been missing this type of bad guy, this like Sith, Dark Jedi style enemy, where he's very big and imposing and powerful. So it's going to be cool to see more of him and get to know his backstory, because I have a feeling he like came up with Anakin in the Jedi Academy and stuff, because they're about the same age. So I have a feeling he was, but we didn't see him in the Clone Wars. But anyway, so yeah, this is a sick scene that he has, and his lightsaber is kind of orange. It's not fully red, because they haven't fully embraced the dark side. Seems like they're kind of teetering on light and dark. They're using both abilities, which is, been debated for years, and it's kind of cool to finally see it. I know people hate the word gray Jedi, but it's pretty cool to see characters like this. We get to see Morgan. Morgan escaped here. Baylan. So Baylan and Shin are mercenaries now. So they're, Baylan was an ex-Jedi, is not anymore, but now they're mercenaries. So they do stuff for money, which is pretty cool. I really like that Dave is expanding the lore, like he's not just making a show that doesn't mean anything. He's kind of making it, he's expanding the lore. So like we can make theories and videos and people can talk about it. That's what the juice of Star Wars is. I love that, because now you can like hire, and even Marok is a mercenary as well. So you can like hire these force wielding mercenaries to do your bidding. So I didn't know that was a thing before. I thought it was, yeah. So that's really cool. So he frees her. Um, and then yes, she informs him that Ahsoka is probably going to be on her. Oh, and she's seeking the map. So yes, Master and Apprentice. That's the name of the episode. So that could be Baylan and Shin. Plus, it could also be Ahsoka and Sabine. So one thing I kind of have a problem with is, I don't know if you guys do too, but the Sabine and Ahsoka kind of being so Ahsoka took her on as an apprentice off camera, so that wasn't in Rebels or anything. They were training together, and then Ahsoka left, so we missed all that. I really hope they do some kind of a recap episode and or flashback to that time, because I really, I would have loved to see that. So we get this very cool scene of Ahsoka just introducing her character. A lot of people don't, well, not a lot. I don't know how many of how big a population of people that watch the show don't know who Ahsoka is. I don't remember her from other things or even Mando seasons, but it's a very cool introduction to her character. She's using the Force, and she does that awesome lightsaber spin to cut the hole in the ground. She uses her Jedi powers and her intelligence to crack the code and find the map key thing. This was awesome. We got to see a lightsaber battle, another lightsaber battle 12 minutes in. So we get 2 lightsaber fights right away off the bat. I really like that. Okay, Dave knows what he's doing, Dave Filoni. We want to see lightsaber battles, lightsaber fights, not just anything, like really cool Western. It's almost like samurai style with the wind, and they all have capes on, and really cool. So these HK droids are trying to stop her. The red one is obviously the leader. I like how droids have like that command structure. Like the red one is like the most powerful. So she quickly dispatches them, even though, they put up kind of a good fight, but she kills them all. She's like the best duelist right now. So, and then they do this self-destruct thing, which is interesting. I've never seen that before. The explosion is huge. I didn't think it would be that big, but it is massive. It takes out a huge part of, I don't know how many kilometers that is or miles that is, but it's a huge explosion. And then we get to see the droid that was in Clone Wars. What is his name again? It's Hu Yang. Probably pronouncing that wrong. But he was from the Clone Wars, so he's like an ancient droid. He's been around for over 500 years, and he kind of guides the younglings on how to build their lightsabers, or Padawans, how to build their lightsabers. And he has all these different materials that he has that they could pick from, and he trains them how to build it. So he's been around for a long time. Also, David Tennant reprised his role from the Clone Wars, and now he's in this really interesting droid character. Oh yeah, and this art style was based on early sketches of C-3PO way back before it was made. So really interesting stuff. I like his character. I like when they humanize the droids more. I really like that. So he's pushing Ahsoka to get an apprentice, because she's like, you should have brought your ship closer. I needed you back there. You were too far away. And he's like, that's not my job. Like, that's a job of a Padawan. So he keeps kind of like nudging her to like get a Padawan, but she doesn't want to. Something happened with Sabine that we didn't get to see yet. So, and with Anakin, right? She doesn't want dark side stuff. So they approach the fleet, which is a really dope scene. The space stuff is awesome in this. The ship design, some of the best ship design I've ever seen is coming out of Star Wars right now. Like Mando season 3, as much as I didn't enjoy it, the ship design is great. The ships in this show is also equally as great. So we got to see Hera again. So it's cool to see her go from the cartoon to live action. So that's actually whose wife? Oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi's wife. What's his name again? Shoot, I forget his name right now, but yeah, that's his wife in real life. So they get to meet up again, and yeah, she tells her that she's got the key and tells them about these dark Jedi, and they try to figure out who they are. So yeah, we go through that. Location of the last missing Imperial Grand Admiral, yes, and then the Thrawn stuff. And then we get to see, this was cool. I freaking almost cried at this part because of how dope it was, where he was like honoring Ezra and the rebels who helped save this place. And it was just so nice to see in the mural in the background with Ezra in it. Such a nice thing, like this mural. It's and the fact that it like came from the animated show, and it's to see it in live action, the same mural. So cool. And obviously this guy's in the Clone Wars, is well, not, was in Rebels as well, and same with this character on the left, the mayor. I think he was also in Rebels. He was with Ezra. Very cool scene. And then we have to show that that Sabine is like this rebel, and she's got this music. So me and my wife just watched Star Trek 2009, and there is a scene exactly like this with Captain Kirk as a kid driving through the desert, driving away from cops with this rock music blaring. Very similar scene. And then on X, somebody remixed the song over the Beastie Boys song, so it was really interesting. So yes, we get to Sabine. We get to see her rebellion side, and showing that she doesn't, she doesn't listen to authority, and she's like does this really cool maneuver. So she goes home, and we see her home here, and the stormtroopers, how many she's killed on the wall there, way more than that. But we get to see her kind of reminiscing and looking at Ezra and missing Ezra. You see this hologram of him. So this is a pre-recorded message that Ezra recorded before he went out to the last battle, right? So a lot of soldiers do this. They'll write a message to their families before they go to a big battle, just in case they don't make it back. So one thing I was kind of disappointed in is that he's like, you've been like a sister to me. And I'm rewatching Rebels, and Ezra and her kind of like, there's a thing kind of going on. It's not, overly obvious, but Ezra, like, it seems like the episodes that I just watched seem like Ezra likes Sabine. So I'm really kind of disappointed they squashed that. I hope, and then like the way she's like looking at him, and like it just seems like she likes him more than a friend. I hope that they kind of spark some kind of, it would be more interesting. I think it would be cool. See, you've always been like a sister to me. So yeah, he kind of friend zones her, but we'll see how that goes. So we get more of the Dark Jedi talking to each other. I'm talking to Morgan, and she was saying, "Oh yes, this place is built by her ancestors," and we get confirmation that she is in fact a descendant of the Night Sisters. She is a Night Sister because she still has the magic. It was it was highly speculated from Mando season 2 when Ahsoka had her episode and they fought. She had the Beskar spear. A lot of people thought that she might be a Night Sister from that, and it's very cool to see confirmation of that here, that she in fact is. I wonder why she didn't use her magic. I don't know how good she is with the Night Sister magic, but we do see it later on. But yes, there is Morok, I think his name is. Yeah, Morok. Very interested in this character. I had a video that it's either out or it's coming out soon on Morok and who he might be. Because in television shows, whenever there's a masked character and that doesn't speak, it's usually because there's some kind of big reveal later on that should happen. I would love if Sam Witwer was underneath here and he was some kind of not Star Killer. Obviously, he's way too powerful, but some kind of twist on the Star Killer story. You know, and he is in fact an Inquisitor. They were trained by Darth Vader, but now he is a mercenary. So I wonder if it's some kind of Star Killer twist. That would be really cool if it was. So he hasn't, yeah. So he's just a hired mercenary. He's always in the background. Um, yeah, here we go. And then they're kind of discussing. I really like this part too. So they're kind of like they're working for Morgan, but they have their own plans as well. They have their own side plan, which villains always do that. So the master and apprentice. I like that. Oh wait, so here's the thing. She has her Padawan braid. So if they were completely Sith and completely going like the rule of two style, she would not have that. So you can see that they're holding on to some of the Jedi ideals, which is very interesting, but they're also like out for themselves. Like they seek power. Like you later on you see Balin talking about power beyond what's our angle here? He's like power but like that you haven't seen before. So he is after power, which is not the Jedi way, but they're still holding on to like certain Jedi ideals here. So that's cool. Sokatano's former apprentice, yes. Man, yeah. I really want more from Mayrock. I really hope they don't let me down with that. If she beheads him in episode 3, I'd be so sad. So, okay, yeah, she goes and meets up with Ahsoka. Yeah, he talks about his original parts, and then they have this awkward talk because they haven't seen each other in 3 years, I believe, something like that. I forget how many years it's been, but it's been a while, and they finally start talking, and she's like, I might be able to find Ezra. So boom, right, got her attention right away. She comes back to Ahsoka's ship. Is very familiar to her, and then she needs her artist eyes to figure out the puzzle. Oh yeah, and they talk about how she was an apprentice and she would have been a great Jedi, and so we don't really know what happened. They're still not totally cool yet. There's still a lot of tension there. Oh yes, and then we get to see Hu Yang talk to Ahsoka about the saber. So yeah, she knows his name. He disappeared at the end of the Clone Wars, like so many Jedi. So yes, when Order 66 happened, he disappeared, and so it's basically confirmed for me anyway that Sheen was not in the Jedi Temple. She was not a part of that at all. It seems like Baylan either found her as a youngling later on, and sensed that she was, really powerful with the Force, or it's his daughter. We don't know yet. I think it would be cooler if it was his daughter, to have that father-daughter connection, and it would be more like the family stuff would be great. So they know his name now, and he's going to do more research. I believe that I really hope they get a Anakin flashback of young Anakin and young Baylan at the Jedi Academy together. That would be cool. Both trained in the Jedi arts. Yes. Yep, that'd be formidable. Yep, he keeps pushing her to get an apprentice. And yeah, there are the sabers. There goes Sabine. Oh, this scene is really cool. So this is very reminiscent of Darth Maul when in episode 1, when Darth Maul is spying on Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and he gets the droids to come back. Very reminiscent to that. This scene, so cool. I love how they do that. They always tie it back, and the droids standing there. Dope scene. And then she goes home. She takes the key to go home and think without Ahsoka's permission, so she didn't even tell her. So she just took off, went home to figure it out. She actually figures it out, and so yeah, and then she's trying to convince her to get Sabine as an apprentice again. She figures it out, and I saw this coming a mile away. The bad guys are gonna come because the trailers gave a lot of it away. You can tell by the lighting, nighttime. She's alone. They're obviously gonna come and try and get it from her. So she figures it out. It's the Rubik's Cube. So look at this. So this is the known galaxy in the Star Wars universe, right? The middle. And look how far away the other galaxy is. That is really far. So no ship can go there. No regular ship, no Star Destroyer, nothing like that can get there. That is way too far. So, yeah, there's a lot of rumors about it being called the New Beyond, but it's just another galaxy, I think. And I think the rules, oh man, this is one thing I loved. Dave Filoni is building this out so cool because the Force could work completely different in this new galaxy. So we know Ezra gave Sabine his lightsaber. So he has no lightsaber. He's been there for years. So hopefully the Force works different and he has some kind of like cool abilities now where he can use the Force in interesting ways. And there's like a whole other side of the Force that's in this galaxy that they can add new and refreshing stories and visuals and all that stuff, because it's cool to have like Sith, Dark Jedi, and Jedi fight each other, but I'm really looking forward to having some kind of other thing, other bad guys, other alien races, other big threats out there. It's got to be a big threat out there, so I'm very excited for them to get to that galaxy. So yep, she fights the droids, they destroy her computer, and here's the big battle between them two. Even in the trailer, I predicted, I'm like, there's no way Sabine is gonna fight and win against this girl, because she has the Padawan braid, she has training, and she has the Force, and Sabine doesn't have the Force or any of her Mando equipment on. So in the trailer, I'm like, she's got to lose. There's no way. She's got no jetpack, no grappling hook, no flamethrowers, no knee rockets, none of that stuff. So that stuff usually evens out the fight between Jedi and Mandos, right? But she just has the saber. This is a pretty cool scene of her sparking it, and it's green. I really like that. She goes up to her, and you see Shin kind of assessing her skill as she walks up to her. But Shin is like way more skilled than Sabine. Sabine puts up a decent fight, but Shin wasn't really trying. So another problem I had was this. She gets ran through. Okay? Man, I'm so sick of the new Star Wars. Everyone's getting stabbed, like full stabbed through. Like it's a lightsaber. It's a very powerful, extremely hot laser sword that is going through you. So now we saw the Inquisitor get stabbed and lived. He has 2 stomachs. We saw Reva get stabbed twice and live. We see Sabine get stabbed through. It's just, and then Qui-Gon obviously was the first one he got stabbed through and he died. But I feel like they could have done this a different way. They didn't have to run her through. Everyone's already not everyone. A lot of people are already upset at how many times people are getting stabbed and living, and then you're going to do it again. And then she doesn't have to go in a bacta tank. She just like is healed in a matter of like hours or one day. Man, it's just the consequences. Like, this is a very traumatizing thing to get stabbed by a lightsaber, and for her to be fine, I don't know. I feel like they could have like done it some other way where she didn't have to get stabbed through, like some other way she could have gotten injured. But yeah, I don't really like that part. But other than that, I thought it was a solid episode. Really enjoyed it. for our friend Ray. Yeah, super sad. Really enjoyed it. I'll probably give it a 8 out of 10, 8.5, 8 out of 10. Some slow scenes. Yeah, some scenes are kind of slow. Ahsoka, I really hope that we get to see more of her personality, because I know she's very stoic. She's been through a lot. She's been through a heck of a lot between the Clone Wars and now. Um, so she's gonna be jaded and kind of stoic about her, but I want to see a little more personality from her, because I want the world to love Ahsoka. Like, we all have seen Clone Wars and Rebels. Like, we grew up with her, so we know her character. But a lot of people are coming into this without any of that knowledge, and the show is named Ahsoka. So I want her personality to shine through and people to fall in love with her, and just have her be this, like, when people think of Star Wars, they think of like Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker. I want Ahsoka to be in there too, in like the amongst the normies, right? So I really hope that her character comes out a little bit more and she softens up a bit, and we get to see, a lot more memorable moments from her. But really like the show so far. I can't wait to see where it goes. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more. I'm going to post my episode 2 breakdown right after this. So like I said, subscribe, hit like, share, comment below what you thought of this episode. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know your score. Give me all that stuff. Anything I missed, leave it in the comment section down below as well. Let's build a dope Star Wars community on this channel, and I'll see you next time.